welcome to episode 2 of the Late Show, I called it. We have Zach Green.
Here I am. Here I am.
Why did you want to come on here?
I don't know. I just thought it would be something fun to do.
You have been my friend for
Half your age.
yeah, no, it'd be more than that now. It'd be 3/4 of my age, I'm pretty sure. Just about 3/4 of my age.
How old would I have been? I was 9 when I met D. What's that? That's like 26 years ago, nearly.
That is a long time. You're another person I know through, well, not through cars, but we've grown up doing all the car shit together. How did you get into cars?
I started with the old man, and we had speedway cars. Yeah, I had an Escort. I think I helped him with his, and then I had a Mark II Escort with a 2-litre Cortina motor in it. It would blow up or break every single event. And then what did I do? Got into the street stuff.
What was your first street car?
Corolla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had the Corolla, and then Volvo.
Oh,
360 GLT. Which was my first rear-wheel drive street car, I think.
Was the Volvo after the Pulsar, before the Pulsar?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, Pulsar was first actually. It was Corolla then Pulsar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I got the Volvo because the Pulsar broke.
The Volvo is when we're on our BMX missions, eh? Yeah. BMX missions. And then what was your first was the S13 the first drift car?
Was the
or
first
foray into rear-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Apart from the Volvo, obviously.
The CA18 with the camo interior.
Mm.
Brick headlights.
Which cost as much as brick headlights do these days?
Yeah,
the whole
pretty
car?
much. Yeah, the whole car I got for what a set of brick headlights worth now.
And how did you get into drifting?
I remember seeing an event D1 at Pukekohe, and it was just wild. And then I went to an event with Scott McQueen, and he and the RB Army boys, I think they were there. And after I seen it, I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So what do I have at the time? I had an R32 I was doing up.
Orange one.
Yeah, the orange one. I was like, I'll sell that and buy a drift car. I ended up swapping that for the SR RX-7, the FC. Yeah. That was my first drift car.
And how did SR RX-7 go?
Terrible.
It was an FC. FC, wasn't it?
FC, yeah. Absolutely terrible. It was mid-mounted, SR20 plus T. I think it made like 210 kilowatt. I blew 4 gearboxes in 3 track days. Everything was solid mounted. It was just terrible car.
And it was solid mounted engine and gearbox, eh?
And then mid mounted as well.
Yeah, and then one gearbox you broke driving out the driveway.
Yeah. Replaced it, tested it up the road, blew it straight away.
And that is probably from twisting.
Yeah.
Yeah. With solid mounting
torque.
Everything. Yeah, the SR20 torque. Yeah, just took the FC shell and just yep. And then got rid of the FC.
Yeah, I swapped it.
Yeah, that's right.
For, which was going to be at the time, I was going to use a car as a tow car because I was trying to remortgage my house. But I swapped it for the Stagia, and the bank said no to remortgaging my house, so I drifted the Stagia.
A smart financial decision.
Yeah. It was a very tidy car when I got it.
It was a car. Yeah.
It's only done 120,000 Ks.
Yeah. And So the plan for that wasn't always to drift it?
No, it was going to
No.
be my tow wagon.
Yeah. If you, what car do you think you would have got?
I wanted an S13 originally, yeah, or an S chassis of some sort, something a little bit more sensible.
But you took the
Beautiful grand touring platform.
yes, the the family wagon and got a little bit carried away.
Yeah, pretty quickly. I think what was it? I did one event and then it had a hydro on it and locked off.
What was the first event? Oh, what was the
Drift
first event?
Junkies.
Drift
Ah,
Junkies.
the Drift
What was the
Junkies.
first event in the FC?
That was Drew and Jody's days,
Oh,
the
yeah.
DMNZ days. Oh, we did Power Cruise. That's what that was when.
Yeah, because I remember telling Jackie about Power Cruise, but then I was thinking afterwards, I was like, I think I did some Drift Empire Mary
Yeah,
Mary
you
things.
did back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Think about that.
Yeah,
I
because
did.
you'd been drifting.
Yeah, I was not good at those Drift Empire days. I think I got a couple of like going, but it was a mission. And then yeah, the Power Cruise is where I actually like managed to link a section. I was like, that was fucking tough. Yeah, is that you'd known Jono before?
So I'd only met. I actually don't think I actually met Jono properly.
That's the first time I remember them at Power Cruise.
Yeah. So I didn't know many people. Basically, all my friends moved to Australia, and
So I was trying to piece this together when I was
yeah.
talking to Jackie.
And then I said to you, "Do you want to come to Power Cruise?" And Jono had messaged me asking me to wire in some gauges for him. Well, I still hadn't met him, and then the first time I sort of met all of them was at Power Cruise.
And then it was were they the Drift Motorsport days? Drift Junkies?
Yeah, DMNZ.
DMNZ.
Yeah, that was the next day I think we did. Proper drift day.
Yeah.
Power Cruise was only a little bit.
And then what was the first event in the wagon?
That was DMNZ day too. Yeah. And my very first event in that, they put me in T1 group. They had like Andrew Redwood, I think, right behind me on my like.
How much power did that have?
300 kilowatt.
Yeah, so that was like pretty big boy
yeah,
back
in. Still makes very similar power. And it handled horribly. It had LSD that would open up over the hill. It went hard.
And then you continued getting carried away?
Yeah. I think, I don't know how long it was before I stripped it. But the first thing was new set of coilovers. And then I started just pulling it to bits at home. I think, when did I drop it off? I dropped it off at your house for a cage.
Yeah.
I think in 2012. Yeah, I got it in 2012, so it was, that was the last Rego sticker. I think I dropped it off that same year for a cage.
Yeah, put a cage in it.
And
then just...
Yeah, we did a Taupo day. Remember when Taupo had their own days?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one. I did that one and then got caged after that.
And then now it is competitive. Well, you compete in it.
I compete in it. It is still very much the same car. It's had a lot.
So from 2012 until 2025. It's got a 30 in it now, though, eh?
Yeah, it's got a 30 in it now. Because I pulled the 25 out just because I needed a motor for a car that I bought. And then I painted my friend Ryan's car, and he bought me a motor. That was part of the deal. And then that was just the unknown, supposedly recon motor from Trade Me. I think it was cheap back then. It was only a couple of grand. And that did like maybe 60 or 70 track days on that motor. Yeah.
And RB reliability. 300 kilowatt reliability.
Yeah. No, it made like 340. But it just had a real low rev limiter. Yeah, and then it went kaput a couple of years ago.
And then you threw another 30 in it.
No, it's the same 30. I rebuilt it, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So it's still the same motor. I just gave it a drill hone and machine the crank and put bolts in it. That's it, I think. Bearings.
I think I do. Was that the motor that just pumped oil all
Yeah,
down the side of the
yeah,
car?
it used to. Yeah, now it doesn't.
Oh,
So whatever I did, it worked. But it used to always pump about half a litre out, and then it was sweet. But now it doesn't breathe a drop.
a question I always get asked. So I was going to ask you the same thing. How do you fund all this?
Oh,
How did you? Because yeah, like obviously it's expensive shit,
yeah.
and
Big borrow steel. Nah, basically
when did you leave school though?
16.
Oh, it was 16.
Yeah.
It was 15, but
Yeah, 16, I think I left. Well, it was the beginning of sixth form. Pretty much just work every day after work, every weekend. I paint a lot of the boys' cars and it'll be everyone else's car.
You're a panel beater by trade.
Panel beater by trade. Most people think I'm a painter. I'm not a painter. Bought myself.
You lay down a real good coat of red.
Depends on the day. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much how I fund it.
And just you work a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Not as much as I used to. I've settled down heaps now since having a young fella. But yeah, a lot. Not unusual to do a 18-hour day.
Yeah. Just work all day and then
go home, work all
in the
night.
garage. Yes, yes. I am familiar. I'm familiar.
Know the feeling well.
Yeah, yeah. So trade, good idea.
Yeah.
And then the skills that you learn from the trade is...
Yeah, it pays off because, like, being able to do the basic repairs if you crash your car saves yourself a lot of money. And then obviously with drifting, if you're poor, you learn to do a lot of other stuff as well yourself. Like I wired my car myself.
And it shows.
Yeah, it definitely shows.
But it works.
It works. It has worked for ages. It's not working so well now, but it's the next on the to-do list. And now as time's gone on, I've learned how to do stuff a bit better too.
Has having a kid negatively impacted your car line? Like obviously it must take a fair bit away.
Yeah, it does take a bit away.
But then you'd get so much more, like seeing a little motherfucker like...
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool seeing him going, "Oh, Dad, crash again."
Did he enjoy seeing you at D1?
He wasn't at D1 this time. Oh, he came to Mount Smart. He got to see me crash there. But every other time he watched on the live stream and got to watch me crash there. It's been a rough year.
Yeah.
But nah, he gets stoked on it.
Yeah, that's all good. You'll have to teach him how to if you were to like give him advice, like how do you think he would go about getting into cars?
Oh, I don't think there's any advice you could give, but like, I'd definitely tell him to do something that everyone else does because doing something different is just silly.
Oh, like choose a car that everyone else
choose
has.
a more appropriate vehicle would be one. I mean, in saying that, the Stagia stands out, but
definitely does.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
There's some bunny hops at
bounces around the place. Oh, that was hard out. De-beating a tire at Pukekohe. The photo of it actually on 2 wheels.
See if I can find that.
I think Danny Wood has it. I've got it somewhere.
Oh yeah. So hard working. And you've pretty much fund your whole D1 season, don't you?
Pretty much. This year's the first year I've actually had some help.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it if I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I've always been like a firm believer of if I can't afford to do it, I shouldn't do it. But I actually thought I had a sponsor lined up. I paid the entry fee and then didn't get a sponsor. So yeah, my boss actually stepped in and helped out a bit, and then Phil from P1 Truck and Block, he helped out as well. So yeah, no, it was good. Would like to do it again. But
What's a rough idea of how much it costs to do a season of pro sport?
well, this year was actually pretty good because I didn't break anything
Yeah,
costly.
yeah. So you'd have a pretty good idea of the base cost.
Yeah, so if you're not going to break anything, was it probably 15 grand you could do a season.
Yeah,
But if you break a gearbox or an engine or something,
yeah. And then it's so the base would be like
and that as well as that, I didn't place very well at all.
yeah.
So like tire cost comes down with that. Yeah, so that little secret would be just to do really average.
What made you want to go from like the grassroots to competitive?
Oh, the competitive, I only really did because I don't get to drive Taupo anymore. Like that was one of the main reasons. And the tracks,
Yeah,
Bay Parks
yeah, the stadium rounds
is so cool. The atmosphere is wild, and then like the commitment to a season, you do a lot of traveling, and every round's an adventure. And the people you see, like I don't do it to win or anything like that. I only do it to have fun, and part of the fun is the adventure. So that's the excitement that D1 has for me.
and because we came from like BMXing,
Yeah.
and BMXing was quite progressive. So would that also play into it? Like
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
next,
you do
like,
want to
sort of
get
step?
better, and you're always you're egging your mates on, and you see your mates do better than you, so you want to do as good as them. Um, but yeah, I'm not out here to win.
No, it's like I guess because there's so many of us there as well. Like it is sort of like how it used to be at the grassroots days.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is at D1 now. With the grassroots days, you've only got bad luck.
Yeah.
And everyone's at D1.
Yeah. Because Matsuri used to be like the peak for us.
Yeah.
And I like, we still have those memories, and I do like have seen recently there's been talk of trying to bring Matsuri back.
Yeah.
Why do you think it faded off so much?
I think it faded off because for there was a lot of drivers and a lot less track time near the end of it. So what's the word for it? It was invite only in that
When we first
when we
started.
first started.
Was Matsuri invite only?
Yeah, Matsuri.
Oh, Matsuri was.
Yeah.
I think I've actually got a sticker on my car still from a like 2012 one.
That was the Chris's first action. That was cool. That was a really cool day. But yeah, that the feeling of it sort of wore off, and people got busy as well, and I mean doing so many track days a year, you kind of need to step back from it a little bit.
Because I was trying to like, if people are going to try bring it back, it needs to come back
real strong, and I think just a once a year.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that just makes it stand out.
Yeah. Because like D1, you're still not the most track time.
Nah.
But obviously that competitiveness sort of makes up for what you miss out on that.
Yeah,
maybe.
that and the exposure you get from it as well. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
I was trying to think about like what you could do at the grassroots days to help with all that stuff, like exposure and then I don't know whether that would be more inviting for people or what it takes, what was missing in those last few, because it did, taper off.
I think that you could have some sort of spot prizes, not like a Matsuri winner or king of Matsuri or something like that. Proper after film.
For people that don't know, Matsuri was like what happened 4 times a year thing in at Topol, and it was like I don't know, it was always a good time. from what I remember.
Sometimes too much.
Sometimes too good a time, but it still holds like a very still a very fond memory of Matsuri's.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's where we met all our friends.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
true.
probably the biggest part of it is we met so many people from Matsuri, and then all of those people are now in D1.
Yeah,
So
and so I guess everyone's just
you go to D1, you know everyone. It's cool. It's a big family thing. It's like a reunion, every year because you got people
yeah,
from all over the country.
yeah. With the competitive
Mm.
sponsorship,
Mm.
they're just people that you've sort of met along the way with businesses,
Yeah.
and they're helping out that way. I want to try get someone who has, like, talk to someone who is going into this like cold to figure out, how they attempt it or how they approach it. But yeah, yours is just
It's that, but also like you got to think about what you can deliver them because it's all very good and well to ask for money, but you've got to deliver to them, and like with what I do, it's 'cause I'm a panel beater, and then just by me putting things up on my story of me repairing my car,
like a whole
yeah,
trashed rear
yeah,
end.
yeah. So that alone got us 3 jobs in through work just from them seeing that story. So
That was in the paper. Was it the one in the paper?
yeah, it was in the paper, yeah. So that pays off. So you really got to think about what you can deliver the other people. You can't just go into a business and ask them for money. Like they can do it as a tax write-off or whatever, but still want something in return, and you've got to be willing to offer out of D1 your vehicle to be used for promotion or take them for rides for some hot laps. So I have to do another day sometime soon to take everyone for a hot lap. Mm.
And then I guess, yeah, being a panel beater and having sponsorship from a panel beating place is just like, and then smashing the absolute shit out of the back of your car, and then turning up to the next round with it looking.
Yeah, looking good. Yeah, it looks good for the business. Mm. Does look good for the business. Yeah.
So I remember crewing for you 7 years ago
Yeah.
in your first round of D1.
Anfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did. We did that whole season.
Yeah, we missed. I think we missed one round, but yeah.
And then you just did the last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've only done 2 seasons of D1.
Yeah, but they're like 7 years apart.
Yeah.
So the difference between
Oh, it's miles. So my car would have been actually a competitive car when I first did it because it was a standard run of the mill. Everybody had the same sort of setup.
everyone was around like 350,
Yeah,
400.
Wisefab was only just coming in, really. I think.
Yeah.
No cars, not many cars in New Zealand had Wisefab. So yeah, and my car is still the same as it was then.
So way more of a struggle now.
Oh yeah, yeah, massively.
Because I think the the first season you had those cut and welded knuckles.
Yeah.
What's in the front of it? GK.
No,
The GK.
still cut.
Oh, still cut.
Yeah, but the first season was four-wheel drive set
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I think halfway through the season, I changed it to the rear-wheel drive front end because I stacked it at Wallet Bay Park.
Oh,
Yeah, and swapped it to McPherson's truck. So the car's actually been cut off at the firewall and had a rear-wheel drive Stagia, chassis rails and towers and everything welded in it.
perks of being a panel beater.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it all goes straight in.
Yeah, because there's 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive
Yeah.
stages. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's still Stagia parts.
Yeah.
Um,
It's still just cut and shut knuckles.
but the like level of the competitors, it would have been like the power levels would have doubled.
Power levels doubled, skills doubled. Like, everyone's done heaps of track days now. And then you've got like the sims as well. Everyone's jammed sims.
And you're definitely not a.
I don't know how to turn a computer on. Struggle with it at the best of days.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, in 7 years, it's definitely very, very different.
And then was it like even I remember we were sleeping on couches,
Yep.
and I can't remember where we were staying. I remember specifically sleeping on couches at the Manfield
Yeah, it's
round.
at Ben
Yeah,
Worthington's,
yeah,
I think. Is where
yeah. And but now you gone upper class, have
we
you?
step up. Yeah, we go Airbnbs now. Not sleeping on mates' couches or strangers' couches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crack up. Um, yeah, and then Japan adventures.
Japan adventures. Yeah, been twice. Got my 14 the first
Yeah,
time. Yeah, with you.
yeah.
Um, that was wild. And then yeah, went again last year, just to help out with Neve really, and
No,
with Calvin and Neve because Neve's over there. You know, well, she didn't know she was going to be working there until that trip. Really, on the flight back, she got offered the job.
so did you do any driving over there that time?
Yeah, I drove a car a couple of days.
Was that S14 as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
S14. It was not a nice S14 though. It was horrible, man. Had an S13 turbo on it. I learned. Did you know you have to run a restrictor in it because the S14s flow more oil? Yeah, I got a high volume oil pump than S13, so yeah, it'll blow the journal bearing.
Oh,
See
I
it
did
not.
not know that. And then your USA missions.
Yeah, that was insane, absolutely wild. Did Drift Week 8, I think it was. Hmm. That was the East Coast side. I think we drove from
What is Drift Week?
Drift Week is a basically you have to drive your drift car on the road between every track, and some of the tracks are 7 hours apart. So you go drifting all day, and then you drive all night, and then you go drifting all day again the next day, and you do whatever you can to keep your car running. So we drove me and Ryan McCock. He's actually the dude with the other Stagia that drifts in New Zealand. Um, we had made friends with Chris Rudnick. He said we could come over and use his car. Um, we had a 370Z, which was just nothing but problems. Um, like when it was on, but it would go into limp mode after a lap. But I drove Chris's 350Z that blew a motor on the first day, so we had to do a motor that night to drive it again to the next track. And he had his LS E36, which we rigged up a tow bar on. Well, he had rigged up a tow bar on, and I loaded a U-Haul trailer full of all of our tyres, tools, gear, wheels, everything. It was like over a ton on the back. And yeah, drove, I think it was 3,500 miles with that rig up. Had plates off another Beamer on it,
Oh,
like
God.
driving
Let's
past
not
cops.
incriminate
Oh,
anyone.
driving past cops and they just wave at you. It's wild, wild what you can get away with over there. No certs, no waft, no nothing. Yeah, the scariest ever time of my life was driving in the rain. Most scared I've ever been in a car. But no, definitely a real cool experience. Would hands down recommend it to anyone. Not cheap, because you think New Zealand dollar, half the US dollar.
So how long ago was that?
Uh, wasn't wasn't last year, the year before.
2 years ago, 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
not quite. Yeah, year and a half.
Rough idea on the cost?
Cost
If you
me
think
the
not
whole
cheap.
trip. I think cost me like $26,000
No,
from.
so for a week.
Yeah.
Holy man. So definitely not cheap.
Yeah, yeah. It was 6 grand. The tires are really expensive over there. They're like 160 US each.
What,
Yeah,
like a 235? What are you putting
two
on them?
6.5s. You don't
Oh,
buy 235s over there.
you put 265s
Yeah,
on the back of a
on a
3.
stock Z,
All
and
good.
it'll spin it. Yeah, yeah. Nah, it would spin it sweet as. Um, yeah, actually couldn't believe it. The track surfaces are way different. Heaps slipperier than you'd think. Our track surfaces are definitely grippier.
And then knowing some people over there would have played a decent role.
Yeah. So we didn't have to pay for a car hireage because that's another.
Do they offer this as like
Yeah,
a
so they do offer a package for car hire. I think that is 10K US. So you're gonna be 17K for a car hire. 10 grand for a car hire
for a week,
for a week.
not
Yeah, that's
including
not including tires or gas
or braking
or
shit.
braking shit. So it's not cheap,
Mm.
but bucket list stuff.
Did they do that's not the Drift Appalachia side? No, they had a different one in there, right?
Same area.
Same area.
Yeah, me and Chris went to Tail of the Dragon, which is wild. Like, we drifted it. You're not really allowed to, but we did.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. And that was some of the coolest driving I've ever done. It's just a stretch of road that's just non-stop corners for about half an hour. Yeah, well, the rest of the Drift Week boys went off one of the side roads and there was a couple of corners they were drifting. We thought that they were drifting the whole road. They weren't. So Drift Week, definitely recommend. I would rate Ebisu better.
Better than Drift Week?
Yeah, hands down. Like, you just can't beat it for track time, and I don't know, being in Japan's pretty wild.
Yeah. So Ibisu is
Yeah.
the track in Japan.
Yeah.
Where everyone goes for Japan Matsuri, which is actually like 36 hours, is it, of open track, something like that?
Yeah, Friday through till Sunday, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely cooler. And you've got all the people from around the world. There's more, just more variety.
Meet some people.
Yeah. Even though it's in Japan, you don't feel like you're in Japan because there's not that many
A
locals.
lot of round eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, what do they call them? Gaijins.
Gaijins.
Yeah. But that is another thing. Oh, you bought your car, the S14.
Yeah.
The first. Did you have a look at prices? What are prices doing now?
I think now for my car, it'd probably be 20K NZ over there.
What was it when we went over?
I paid 9 for it, which was at the time was expensive, but it had a
That was
little.
like 7 years ago as well,
Yeah.
8 years ago.
And it had more. It had a few good bits on it. What did you guys pay for Skyline? It was like 5, eh?
Yeah, I don't even think it was that.
Yeah.
But that was fun to just repair.
Just fly 16 hours to work on a car for a week.
Repair RB manifold studs and I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, the Nissans aren't the one to own over there.
Nah.
Because it's people don't realize that in Japan, stuff is actually really hard to get. You don't know people, and a long way to go to work on your car with minimal tools because the tools they sell at the shops are so limited. Yeah, those jacks. Yeah, but I brought that car back. Yeah, I've still got it. Just before COVID, I shipped it back and changed it a little bit, tidied it up over COVID so it doesn't look like a missile anymore.
But still decided to compete in a Stagia.
Yeah, well, the Stagia was ready to go. S14,
It's way cooler. It is way more.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is it gets noticed.
How many S14s are there competing, and then how many Stagias?
Yeah, and the S14, I didn't want to rush it to get it ready and just have it end up like the Stagia, which is real hodgepodge underneath. So, I want to do it properly. But converting it to a D22 Navara box for cheap gearboxes.
Are they still cheap?
Ish. I think like $1,000.
Oh yeah.
And I bought an ECU for it.
What did we go for?
Just a link. Used a shade in it, Dyno Power.
Oh. Shouts out to Dynamo.
Yeah. Shut up. He actually tuned up the wagon before Bay Park, and it goes way harder now. It was 2 teeth out. 2 teeth out on the exhaust and 1 on the inlet, I think he said. or at Mount Smart, which is like, I'll just blame that for the reason of why I crashed.
Oh,
It was,
yeah.
it was making no power.
What did it make? Did he spin up on the dyno first?
He put the timing right first before doing it, but he reckons it would have been like 230 kilowatt-ish. And I did back beach actually like that as
Oh,
well.
yeah, true.
So you can hear it in the videos. It's like it's not good.
I seen someone comment on that video actually on the TP Boys page, and they're like, some people have too much money. And I was like, yeah, you should only ever do you should never do anything fun in life.
No,
You
never.
should- yeah, that would hack up at backbench.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was actually real cool vibes. Like the people in the Naki are so good. They're just good people all around.
Keen for a hack.
Yeah,
It was probably just a normal Sunday morning for
yeah,
them,
it was,
Saturday morning, whatever it is.
Yeah, just on the street. It was a it's super chill. Just go out whenever you want. That was real cool. So huge thanks to them for sussing that. Never thought I'd be able to drive there.
What future plans do you have for the state? Will there be another season of D1?
I don't know. Like, I'd like to, if I can find someone to help me fund it.
Do you think being technologically illiterate in the way of owning cameras and computers holds you back
Massively.
with your sponsorship?
Massively, because like I'd love to be able to make a video of every round, and I've tried. I struggle making a reel on Instagram. Like that takes me a whole day to do. But I try. It was good when Nick was, because he used to always be there.
Well, I think he's the reason the TP Boys page had shit to put up, and
then died. I'll
the
blame
YouTube,
Nick.
the YouTube.
I'll blame Nick for our TP Boys failing. Yeah, no, he was pretty committed. I think it probably killed it for him a little bit. He hated making them.
So you would recommend for people if they're trying to
if they're wanting to get into it, yeah, definitely have some sort of media knowledge, be able to make some basic videos. I can do Instagram stories
or even someone to take some good photos along the way.
Yeah, like I'd love to be able to video what I do and put it on YouTube. Yeah, I can talk to a camera, no problem. It's just the.
I think there was a brief, 3 TikToks or something of Zach.
Yeah, no, I got a few.
Oh,
I deleted TikTok off my phone ages ago, but no, there's a few there. I think one of them got like 200,000 views. Yeah. But, I don't know.
Because that's probably pretty attractive for sponsors to.
Yeah. I just get stuck into what I'm doing.
Oh, it makes everything take a million times longer.
Yeah.
You could either get the work done or document getting less work done.
Yeah. I've had to play around. I remember I made a couple of YouTube videos on that Cyberlink or something. I don't know. I played around on one of the video programs, but I just couldn't work it out.
Do you even have a computer?
Yeah, I've got a laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Had to buy one when I started with business.
Oh.
Hasn't been turned on for a year and a half.
So, if any kids are out there and they want to,
Have you guys good at making video?
Some car spotting, Zach's wagon.
Yeah.
You
got Lele.
What else do I have?
Best drifting memory. Where do you see drifting going in the future?
You should just do the question. You can just bring these up. It doesn't have to be me asking you questions.
Yeah,
we can just talk. Just talk.
Yeah.
So if you got shit to fire out, just fire it out.
Probably my favourite memory with drifting would be the prison.
Yeah, prison was good.
Prison's pretty gangster. Would that be the last time you drove? Where was the last place you drove?
I'm pretty sure the last place I drove was at Opor when my wheels got stolen.
Yeah.
Me and Flav were like, Flav was like into the thing, whatever. And then yeah, that night, someone fucking stole my wheels off the trailer. We ended up getting them back, but you know, it's not helpful when you're drifting the next day. So
Did you still
Brisbane,
go driving though?
yeah, we still went to I'm pretty sure that was last day. And because I said the last thing I had entered was the first Mary green, what's it called,
Oh,
evergreen.
Evergreen, yeah.
Like I entered that, and then my my manifold broke, and I can't remember why I didn't have a welder or what the go for was. I think it was just that wrecked. Like
I remember you
I'd had it
saying,
heat wrapped,
yeah.
and I think it had just ruined the steel from like being so hot and you know the moisture. They say heat wrap wrecks manifolds. Well, it definitely does because it toasted it, and I couldn't even weld it up. So yeah,
I remember you saying you weren't going to drive it again until you made your own manifold for it or made a better manifold for
yeah. I think well, who did I get that factory? I feel like that's your factory manifold on there. And then I did make one, but I just never put it on there. Mm.
Is there much left to go on that car?
I just want to tidy up the wiring pretty much
Yeah.
and give everything a good clean out because the petrol probably again has evaporated out of the tank. It's
Oh.
happened a couple of times. I like I was working. I'd been doing some work on it, and I was like, you know, went to start or something, it wouldn't start, and I was like, oh, the fuel filter must be blocked. And I took everything apart, and I was checking fucking all sorts of stuff, and then I like stuck my hand in the tank, and I was like, there is nothing in there. So
Not rusty?
no, it's plastics.
Oh,
Got a fuel cell.
Oh, fuel cell, that's right.
Heather is wanting to do 40 things before she turns 40.
One of them go drifting?
Yeah, one of them's go drifting, so it is either get my car into a like just check over I'd want to like clean the injectors, clean the whole fuel system, just make sure it's all somewhat decent, and then
What do you define as drifting though? Because you
well,
could put an FD on a wet pad and
I wouldn't put a wet no, not with those. No, I'd maybe go 1800 MX5 on a
oh
wet
yeah,
pad,
yeah,
but no, I'd like to put her on an actual track.
yeah.
You know, because when it's like third gear and you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's actual, you know, shit around a cone. Like you'd want to do that first with her.
Just it's a car. It's a basic car control.
Yeah, but a car,
throttle.
you know, she's done a little rocky out the
Yeah,
driveway.
get two going.
I can't remember if that car got two going. It had the crank angle sensor wiring had worn through, so it wasn't good at high revs. I can't remember if she ended up get two going. It wasn't as good as Drake's good. Drake definitely got it hussing on the driveway. But nah, so tidy it up would be the tidy the wiring up.
Is the body tidy? My last memory of seeing that out was when Shaden crashed into me, and Shaden was driving. And he crashed into my car. I think I fixed it after
Yeah, I
that.
think you fixed. Yeah, because it had a big dent in the rear quarter. No, that's all fixed. It's just the body kit's somewhat tatty, but so yeah, it'll be at some point in the next 2 years.
Oh,
She just
you
turned
heard it
38.
here. Will that make it not quite 10 years since it's?
Yeah, not quite 10.
Hey, but you're
Had
still
to grow up a little bit.
you're still involved in drifting.
Yeah.
And like being on that side of it, I've done the crew thing heaps, and it's just as fun. Like yeah, you still get to share all the memories and go on the adventures and it's pretty sick when like the whole team just digs in to get the car going. Like that's a mean rush.
It has given me some pretty good adventures over the past, like for the 7 years that I haven't been driving, the adventures that being into cars has, you know, provided me with the memories is like the same, if not better. Like, because Matt's like meeting everyone initially in Matsuri's and all that was like amazing. And then now that everyone's getting the next level up, yeah, is more
Yeah,
like,
and like you crewing for Dean, you get to see because he's done quite a few street.
yeah, me and him
stuff.
go on,
Yeah,
go on
so, like,
missions with it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he does heaps of street stuff. Going to Oz with Tay.
Yeah.
Mean down south, like everything. Like it's definitely
What was Oz like?
Oz was cool. Yeah, there was the LZ Fest. What was that 2023 in Melbourne? Yeah, that was mean. Just seeing everyone.
Did you go to World Time Attack as well?
Yeah, World Time Attack as well. So I it's actually quite interesting, like looking at the fabrication of some of the cars, because some of them I'll look at and it just blows me away.
Yeah.
And then there were some that I did take some photos of that was like,
Cuzzy out the back did.
yeah, like looks cuzzy, and they are at that event, and I was like there's a few cages that I was like, you need to tighten that up, and the welding's not the best. But yeah, both those things were like crazy. I see he's selling it now, or they're downsizing a little bit now, but seeing what Keep It Read had grown to then was like just
Insane.
blew me away. Yeah. The size of all that, seeing their workshop and going around everyone's things and just
That'd be a hard monster to maintain though. Just doing like the giveaway cars and that have sort of fallen over a bit,
yeah. Oh, just
eh?
that was a hell of a setup. So yeah, but yeah, all the adventures, crazy, and like the stuff that you can't like. I'm not gonna like just the antics, not necessarily, but just the antics behind like hanging out with everyone and just. I would
off-camera activity.
Yeah, definitely off-camera activities, but like they are as fun as as the rest of it.
Yeah. Have you actually done an introduction on yourself lately?
Not really. I don't know how much. Well, depends if people watch the other stuff on my YouTube or whatever. You wouldn't if you just listen to this on.
Yeah, if you're just coming across.
No, I wasn't too worried about that at the moment. But
Leighton has an S13. He has. What was You've had the S13 far out. Is that 20 years?
It must just be the end of this year will be 20 years.
Oh. I remember your mum. Leighton didn't he hid his car from his mum for like a month or something, eh?
Yeah, it was something like that.
We put the SR20 dead in it. It was the fastest thing we did. I remember going for a ride. I was like, why would you need any more power than this?
In a factory SR20.
Factory SR20 dead.
I was going to tell because Drake's just got his license. Heather's son, and he's like he drives around. I guess because I'm a responsible adult, so maybe he doesn't get quite as wild in it. But I was just remembering, like me and him were driving down the mount, and I was like, "Fuck!" I remember being in my S13, and like every first to second, I would just change gears so hard that it'd be like. And I was going to tell him that, but I was like, that's probably not really appropriate. But yes, I've had that.
Turbo on the tri-spokes, eh?
Yeah, turbo on the tri-spokes. But yes, it was a good time.
And then your mum came out and was like, is that a blow-off valve?
we were doing an engine transplant from CA to SR. I did it in my workmate's garage over a weekend. I think I did that. And then Mum was like, where's your car? And I was like, it's at Zach's getting panel beaten. So then we had to do like, I remember it being primer patches for ages. I think you like bogged up a guard or something. Like it was not much of a panel job, but like we had to make it look like something had happened.
The second car I ever painted. Okay. Everybody's seen it, was like, oh, I want to paint my car red.
And then
the TP
painted it, crashed it into a shed.
I'm pretty famous.
I'm pretty sure that was like the same weekend or a week apart.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Nah, you drifted it first. I think you did. Yeah, you did. I remember I painted your car and Jono's car, and I spent a lot of time on them, getting them nice. and both cars came in after like within 2 laps and just smashed to bits.
Jono's always the 3 cones. I still remember that. It's like dug dug dug. Mm.
I was like, never again am I doing a nice job on a drift car. It's pretty disheartening. But yeah, painted the cars red and that became the TP boys. There used to be quite a few of us. I think at one track day there was like 12 cars. Because you had like Luke, Timmy Tuo, Richard, Claire.
Yeah.
Claire was the only person I've ever seen just jump straight in a car and rip. And Dane. Dane went pretty hard first track day.
That's where the TP in my name comes from, the TP boys thing, which was Tipuki originally, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was because Drew just referred to us as the boys from Tapuki.
Oh.
And then I think I created a Facebook page
Yeah,
for
I was going to
laughs.
say, I think you created the page.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what the hell happened.
Kind of stuck for ages.
And then I crashed into a shed.
Yeah.
And then that went pretty hard on the internet.
You got like 5 million views, eh?
Yeah, Facebook views too,
Yeah.
so I mean.
We do have a video that we made money off.
Yeah, but you don't remember the account number.
Don't remember the account password.
Yeah.
I think the last time I checked, it was like $100.
Well, that was before it was on Snapchat.
Was it on Snapchat
Yeah,
now?
it's been on like expensivest fails like heaps of times.
I wonder if I could...
I've seen it on like Snapchat for you pages and everything.
I'll see if I can log in.
How much we got in there?
Hold on.
Look at you, tech.
Yeah.
See that singular finger? See that?
Made $165 off of our video, Lele. There you go.
165.
Yeah.
Is that US?
Yeah, that's US.
Oh, sure.
That's
We're
big.
getting the
That's
chaos.
big, Bicky.
From crashing into a shed.
Yeah.
What is it? 160.
165 US.
165. That's 280. That's 280. New Zealand.
Next payment due April 29th. Hey, have I been getting paid for this? Nah, I haven't seen any money come from it. I hope they're not paying it to my PayPal because that one got hacked. That got hacked ages ago. Payment calendar. Oh yeah, maybe it's a yearly thing.
No.
Okay. Oh no, you get an email when you're saying you got paid.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so we haven't been paid.
Haven't been paid? So $280.
$280
from crashing into a shed. Which I thought it was maybe slightly less than that, but I remember when I crashed into the shed.
10 years ago, isn't it?
At least. I don't know. Someone will let me know.
Max Bevan will let you know.
Yeah, Max Bevan will let me know.
Yeah.
He'll send me or
tag you in memory.
Tag, yeah. There's a broken headlight. It's still got that same front bumper. I think it was a
guard and a bonnet.
Guard bonnet headlight. And I feel like the guard, I don't think it wouldn't have even been a Hyundai. I think this was back when like guards like $50.
Yeah.
And a bonnet. That is a new bonnet. The bonnet might have been a Hyundai. Can't remember. I do have another bonnet as well.
Yeah, it was like nothing to fix it. The internet just went wild.
That's profit right there. That's profit straight on. We're going to have to make some investments.
Yeah. Crash it again.
Ooh, no. We would need far more. And it's actually steel in behind there now, so it would actually we won't do that.
Yeah. You're going to have to do a recreation of it, like just a redemption skid when you get it going.
I've done a skid outside of the garage here.
Oh no, in the garage. What's up with the red?
Oh, we did this on stream. This was yeah. Well, I used to have a red one years ago.
I remember you used to.
My
favourite version was the Fro.
Right, yeah, I don't what do you call it? Like
thinning a little bit.
Thinning a little. I don't think there's
I've got the
enough.
same problem.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough for
I
a
was so
throw
scared.
anymore.
I had the big mop. I was so scared of cutting it because I was worried there's going to be ball patches in there underneath.
Price of aging, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was just something to do. Entertaining the stream.
I mean, having long hair as an engineer probably isn't ideal.
Well, that's why I got rid of it. Like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was just too much hassle with the engineering and the welding and the being under cars.
I imagine swarf's probably not the funnest thing to have.
But I cut it off. Then Heather, straight up.
No.
She was like, "You need your mullet back."
Yeah. You'll never get this.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, just
like something to hang on to.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, definitely something.
Can understand.
But she puts up with me out here every night, so.
This podcasting's really got to hack into your stream time lately.
Well, stream time's from 7, from 8 till 10 usually on TikTok, Twitch.
What's the other one? Do you do Discord as well?
Nah, that's just for people to hang out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not too many yarns in there lately. But yeah, just go out there, get like not much work done.
Yeah.
And just talk to people.
Is it getting bigger?
Yeah. Slowly.
Do you make money off of streaming?
I wouldn't say make money.
Yeah.
People give me money.
Yeah.
But the amount of money that it costs me to, like, for cameras and all the stuff, it's not. It is. I'm not at an upwards. What would you call it? It's not profitable.
Yeah.
It's definitely not profitable, but it is lots of fun.
Yeah. And it gives you a reason to work on the cars.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Jackie that's the reason I started doing it, because I just lost motivation to do stuff on my S13, and yeah, then you just get to yarn to people. I meet people from all around the world.
I suppose, yeah, and people learn stuff.
Yeah, but like I get heaps of messages saying, you get me motivated to work on my car and all sorts of stuff. So it is, pays in other ways.
Yeah,
pays in makes me feel,
and it makes you want to do your best work as if you're on camera too.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. It makes me want to do some work. They get pretty excited when I do work, because some nights I get a bit sidetracked and we just yarn about like
whatever
general rubbish. And yeah, but nah, it definitely helps. I would recommend it to people if they're struggling with like motivation to work on cars. Just because it gets you out there doing it, sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like you have to be I guess you don't have to be out there doing it to put a TikTok live up or a Twitch, whatever. But if you do it while you're out there, then yeah, it's a little bit less boring, and lots of people seem to find it interesting.
Yeah.
Meet people. It's good for meeting people, having yarns.
Have you met many strangers out and about that have come and approached you?
Nah, maybe like a handful.
Yeah.
But nah, nothing too wild.
Definitely a weird feeling. I've had people recognise me off of like Rudnick's YouTube.
Weird thing about streaming, especially, is that people obviously, a few times that I have, they know you, like they know what I look like, but I have no idea what they look like. So it's, I don't know, it makes a real...
And then, hey, I'm Devious Con 1.
Yeah, that sort of thing. They're like, hey, bro. Because I've met people, I wouldn't consider them strangers. They're people who like come up in the stream like every night or, weekly or whatever. And they'll come up and they'll be like, oh, hey, Leighton, blah, blah. And then you're like, hey, and I'm, and they have to explain. And you're like, oh, fuck. So, it is, on that side of things, it's like having a relationship with someone, friends or whatever, but you're only seeing their face for the first time, so it's...
Who else you plan on having on here? Can you get Sam?
Pretty much anyone. Yeah. I'll see. Yeah, Sam will be a good value. I'm just going to see, like, because I'm not good at, like, trying to do this. is so much like as hard. Like I made minimal notes for this, but trying to have topics and then keep things flowing makes you appreciate other podcasting. Like you kept that going hard. Whereas when you're here and you're like, trying to flounder through it. But pretty much, like, I'm just gonna see who wants to come on, what they want to yarn about, slowly get better at it, and then talk to more and more people. I want to, like, because I want to try and do. I don't want it to be a big step. Like, if you listen to it and you want to get into cars, or you want to get into drifting, or you're getting into content creation, like, I don't think people who do it professionally need that much advice.
Yeah.
Whereas the kid who is starting a TikTok with his phone, or the kid who just bought a whatever car they have these days and is trying to figure out how he's gonna, what the next step for them are. You want to keep the step quite small.
Yeah.
So then they can be like, oh, I can do that. Whereas, if you don't have any reputation or anything going for the.
Well, anyone can do drifting.
Yeah, well, it's just the drifting is definitely a money motivation thing at this
100%.
point.
You can still do it cheaply, like Mary. Yeah, just getting out there more. But like how I've been in this since 2012. Like I kind of like doing other things in life now as well. Yeah, I would like another dirt bike. It breaks your body though, but it's a good little adventure. And just spending time with the young fella, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
It's buzzy. It's buzzy when you like. I don't have my own kid. I have other people's kids, but it's buzzy when you teach them stuff, eh?
yeah. It's they just froth
it. Yeah, but like when you try to teach them things, or like you work away at things, and then one day they actually like do whatever it was, and you're like, fucking hell, like it actually worked. It is a
very rewarding.
wild feeling.
They're just a little mini you. Yeah, it's like I don't know. For me, having a kid is like that. It's unlocking the next level of life.
Do you reckon it makes you work harder at other things?
Yeah, it does because you become a bit more focused on what's important.
Because I reckon, like, seeing the boys grow up, like, it makes me like, fuck, I should like not be as retarded.
Yeah.
And not like still be slightly retarded. I'm still like,
oh yeah, you're still
definitely not the most serious person, but you like, you got to be like, wow, you probably want to be more productive and things, and then help them with things, and I reckon it definitely makes you better as a person.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, it's made me grow up.
And then I have no idea like what, because then you'd have like that extra bond where it's
yeah. But then I only see them every second weekend, so it's not. Yeah. You got to make that time count.
there's still time for cars.
Still time for cars and stuff. Yeah, I'd like to see them every day if I could. But
Yeah.
do you think you'd ever go back to Japan or anything like that again?
Yeah, I'll definitely like. Someone messaged me. It was actually Maxi Bevs last night. He was like, said something about the boys going to Japan and thing, and I was like I definitely would go back to Japan. I would like to get more financially secure.
Yeah.
All right. Which is why I stopped drifting as well, just because it is lighting money on fire.
And saying that though, Lele, like it's amazing how resourceful a drifter can be.
Yes.
Like when you've committed to something, it just kind of happens, and you can say, "I want to be in this position before I do it," but like, don't let that hold you back.
I think that's that was mildly Jackie's thing as well, where she's just like, you just got to do it.
Yeah, you just make it happen. Like, and it's the same with anything. Like, if you were like committed to buying a house, you make it happen. So like, I think that applies with everything in life. And you can say that you want this to line up before you do this.
Well, I would say maybe those were the wrong words then. Maybe it's not. Money does come into it, but like I'm working on all these, like I enjoy streaming, so I'm trying to make that work. I don't know how well I'm doing at that, and just working on cars, and now firing this thing up and seeing
Yeah.
if this works. I don't know what works would mean, but
If people listen to it.
so yeah, see if people listen. Like, and I enjoy making videos as well. So like making Dino's stuff this season, like heaps of fun. Just learning, going through the whole process, like videoing stuff and then editing it and putting it up. And then when you're editing it, you're like, fuck, I should have done this. And then remembering next time to do that thing. And so then doing extra stuff to try and
Go drifting or
go
to
drifting
Japan.
and go to Japan. You know, I would have to, you always have to give up something. We
Something else.
said that in the last thing as well. But yeah, so I'd have to give up one of the things to fit in the other thing, to make the money or to whatever it is. So at the moment, like I am very happy with my life. Like every day I'm like, fuck, this is like, you know. And so there's not too much that I'm wanting to change at the moment, the way I'm doing things.
I guess you forecast it just for way ages in the future.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best idea because like I'm always like I want to get back into it once I do these things, but yeah, just you know,
Definitely helps having a friend or someone to help you, I think.
yeah,
I like to
like
do it all on my own.
yeah, but I think that's an issue. Like I always like to learn how to do things, but when I'm doing these things, I'm like, fuck, it would be really handy if I had someone to help do the things because then, you know, they can do, you know, something and then while you're doing this other thing and then you get more done. And I'm not the best. I've never been the best at like asking for help or even really wanting help. Like, oh, it's just
people offer me a hand all the time.
yeah,
Nah, it's all right.
yeah, like you know, I got this, and then yeah, I would like to go to Japan. Heather wants to go to Japan next year.
I wouldn't go buying a car over
Nah, I wouldn't go buying a car over there. She doesn't even want. She's not interested in the track anyway.
Yeah,
but I would go visit the track and you know try and organize it around when other people are there as well. So it would be,
if
you
you
know,
went
and
over
then
for a
I'm sure if she
Matsuri,
saw that, like, she'd be like, oh, this is actually quite fun. But yeah, I don't know. I just have to like, someone would have to twist my arm enough, I guess, and then you just push yourself to fit that in as well. But yeah, at some point, are you going back?
oh, I'd like to. Well, mainly I want to catch up with Neve.
Yeah.
But
Jake Wallen's going over there.
and Jack Willen. There's other people that I met over there that would be cool to catch up with them again.
I guess it's like a social gathering.
Just like a drift day here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you got people instead of people from all around New Zealand, it's people from all around the world. Even the YouTubers, like, you know, they're just normal people there.
I don't know. Heather will probably twist my arm next year.
Maybe next year. I don't know. I'm gonna have to buy another house soon, I think. So I kind of need to be a bit sensible for a while. Try and do both somehow. Work harder.
What would working harder look like for you, Zachary?
I don't know. At the moment, I'm struggling. I don't get much time because like I used to work only 8 hours a day, and now it's 10 hours a day. So, and then with having the young fella every second weekend. I don't want to be working on my weekends off like I used to. I've cut right back on it and only doing real close friends.
If people want to like see what you do,
Zach Green _37.
37.
Yeah, Zach _Green 37. I think. Oh, hold on, I have to take.
I'll put it on the screen, so
Yeah.
that'll be all good. Hey, thank you, Zachary.